Hello everyone, I'm Professor Geek. Welcome back to the channel. I am recording a video with my daughter in the car back there just to prove the point of how busy and how little time I have these days, which will come up in this video. But I wanted to make a brief video about the new package I have for my editing services and why I'm doing this, basically. I am shutting down my Patreon because of, a lot of the, we've been looking for a substitute for Patreon forever. It just doesn't seem like we're going to get a decent one. Everybody says there's problems with even Subscribestar or whatever. I don't know. So I do offer a couple services through my Patreon for people who want to support my channel. I'll put a link in the description to a tweet I wrote about that for anybody who wants to get in on a channel membership with me and have access to exclusive content and whatnot, and some streams where we talk about certain things that won't be available to everybody else. But this video is about the editing services. I wanted to offer a special deal for indie comic creators who are working on their books, or maybe not a comic, maybe your own book or something like that. But just because so many of the books being released right now on Indiegogo or Kickstarter, not all of them, certainly not all of them, but far too many of them, you're receiving in your hand, and it's just it's subpar story. Not that it's horrible, god awful. I mean, there's some of those too. But the more tragic situation is when you get a book and you realize this could have been amazing. It was almost there or whatever, but it just has these glaring issues here and there that an editor would have caught. But that's the one thing that, for whatever reason, people just do not seem to think about. Maybe I should hire an editor. And it's not a matter, I think people think, well, I'm good enough, I don't need an editor. Having an editor has nothing to do with how good of a writer you are. Every single writer needs an editor. I'm a writer and an editor, and I still need my work edited. It's a matter of getting a different set of eyes on your work, getting a different perspective, somebody that doesn't just take for granted the things that you take as you're writing. So that's the big reason you need an editor, and you need a professional editor. Just having friends read it, that's good, that's important. Those are your readers, and you need good beta readers and stuff like that. But you need a professional editor to look at your material. And I'm not the only editor out there. There are other editors you can hire as well. So I'm not just saying this to try and drive people to my door. But I am offering this deal because it's been my experience that a lot of people who have an idea for a book, and you're going to crowdfund it, there's a lot of things you got to learn for the first time. A lot. I mean, there are a lot of things I'm having to learn for the first time with my books and stuff like that as well, over in another field, like when it comes to the formatting and printing and all that kind of stuff. But a lot of people aren't prepared for how much money editing costs, and good writing consulting, good writing editorial services, professional services. It's a hard job. It's a very time-consuming job if the editor's going to do a good job on your work. And yeah, you need to pay them. You need to pay them well. It's the same thing for a lot of writers with artists. They don't realize, wow, I got to pay an artist that much. Yes, you do. This is hard work you're asking people to do on your project to help your dream come to fruition and to make you look good through this. So you do need to pay some money. But people aren't always prepared for how much that's going to be. Certainly with crowdfunding, these are creators who aren't exactly, working with a lot of startup capital. So I just wanted to offer a package that is actually incredibly lowballing in terms of the cost there. But it's something that I feel like I can do. It's doable for me within these parameters, and it it does provide me something to compensate for my time and everything like that, because it is quite a bit taken up. People will always sometimes fans will just assume that I should read their work just because they're a fan of the channel.
Daddy's
it's like,
all done.
Daddy's not quite all done, but almost there. We'll go to the store in a second. I very much appreciate anybody's support and a fan of my channel, but just asking anybody, hey, can you now read my 10 to 50 page manuscript and just tell me your thoughts? That's a lot of work. That's a lot of work. That's very presumptuous of anybody to, it's frank. But anyway, so, people just don't know these things. So anyway, my package that I'm offering right now is $50, which you'll never find another editor worth their salt offering you anything for $50, that's for sure, unless they're trying to do a special, deal like this to help people out. $50 will get you a $20 Skype call to begin with, where we just talk about your idea, the invention process, whatever you want this work to be, whatever you're thinking. Maybe you've got it written already, maybe you don't, whatever. Just a $20 initial Skype call, talk about your idea. I can help you, I can lead you with some questions to help you kind of maybe get a little bit of a roadmap, or or maybe get a little bit more of an outline to then transpose onto what you've already written or something like that. So 20-minute call there. Then I will look over 10 pages of your manuscript and give thorough developmental editing notes on the manuscript. Send me a Word file. I like to work through Word, and I can use the track changes function. And I'll give you thorough developmental edits on that 10-page manuscript, and then we'll end this out with another 20-minute Skype call just to give you a revision plan going forward. So the whole thing's designed to make sure that you're able to get some real benefit out of it. It's not just you throwing me some pages and me throwing you some red ink on them. You know, I want this to be a thing where you know, we can decide on a direction together for this. I can give you some thorough edits, and part of good developmental editing is not just saying, oh, this is bad, this is bad. No, you got to point out what's working well as well. You know, you got to point out, this is really cool, this is the direction you should maybe try and take this, or develop this even more because it's so awesome in your story or whatever. You got to know what works and what doesn't. It's you know, it's a two-edged sword there. So and then at the end, the end call is very important so that you have a plan going forward. And then if you write some more pages and want to come back to me, you know, if I'm still offering the deal, then absolutely. You know, I'm perpetually offering my editorial services right now. It's just one of my sources of income. So you know, I'll be here. And yeah, so that's my deal right now. That's what I'm offering. But again, even if you don't hire me as an editor, if you are looking to crowdfund your book, have somebody edit it. A lot of these big names that are coming over to crowdfunding platforms from comics, well, they already know the deal. They've already been in comics forever. They already have good friends who are professional editors or writers or whatever who can kind of, you know, provide this service for them, or they're used to the process. But, you know, Jane and John Q. Creator just popping up out of nowhere, you know, you need to learn the ropes, and part of the ropes is getting your manuscript edited. And I don't just mean like proofread for typos. I mean, that's something that comes later. I'm talking about developmental editing. So that's what we're doing here. You think we're done, Alyssa?
Yes.
Yes. Where should we go now?
To the store.
We're going to go to the store. So thanks for watching. Hit me up with my email address. It's in the description below, j.michaelkreitzer@gmail.com. And, you know, we can work out a PayPal and we can get this going. If you're interested in those services, you can DM me on Twitter as well. Thanks for watching. Please do subscribe, like, check out my own graphic novel on Indiegogo still, just for a little bit longer. And until next time, keep enjoying and digging deeper into the hero stories you love. Thanks for watching. By now, chances are you've probably heard of and hopefully ordered your copy of my graphic novel, Tales from the Stacks. But in case this is the first you're hearing of it, it is still in demand on Indiegogo, but it will not be available forever. The in-demand store is closing down later this month as we prepare for fulfillment and for the new campaign for the new book launching in the fall. Tales from the Stacks is a collection of 3 of my uncanny suspense stories in the vein of The Twilight Zone, Tales from the Crypt, and such. They are introduced by a mysterious librarian who's welcomed you into the inner stacks of the library where they keep such tales. And it features interior art by an amazing collection of talent. Illustrator monk Dave T., the great Kyung Lee, and another artist I haven't even announced yet. And of course the variant covers are still available. Kyung Lee's famous cover, as well as John Malin's amazing work, colored by Kyle Ritter, and then the Dave T. Indiegogo exclusive as well. We have prints, t-shirts, bookmarks by Pablo Romero. So if you haven't checked out the campaign page, or if you haven't checked it out in a while, swing by and see if there's any new content you might have missed. Thanks for helping us reach so many of the stretch goals, and we'll see if we can't reach another one before it ends.